talking about here. But then when the culture doesn't support it, right? When a creative person goes to the manager saying that, hey, I have this great idea, and there are a whole bunch of objections that come, right? And you're unable to go and test it. You know for sure that it's a winner. How do you kind of work with that? How do you work in a culture which is not creative by default? What can one do?
Yeah, well, I would say managers are rational, right? And innovation is irrational. And so what you want to do is you don't want to say, hey, I'm kind of thinking about doing this, because then, people are going to say, well, what's the proof it's going to work? Yeah. You don't have any. Therefore, no, you can't have budget, right? Instead of saying, I'm thinking about doing this, find a way to do it in a lightweight, experimental, light cost way, and then come to a manager and say, hey, I wanted to show you this data. We tried this, and here's how people are responding. You know what a manager's going to say? Why aren't we doing more of that? Yeah. Right? And so don't wait. It's impossible to deductively prove the value of a new idea. And yet managers are deductive rationalists. So you have to give them data. So do not ask for permission to experiment. You will never be given it, right? But if you believe that there's a meaningful improvement that can be made, try it in a lightweight fashion and then see. My favorite example of this comes from my good friend Bill Pacheco when he was at Cybex. He had an idea for a new treadmill that was he felt would be a big innovation. He kind of mocked up, CAD images and things like that, and put them to his boss, who had a ton of patents in the fitness space. And his boss was, emphatic. This is a bad idea. Don't do it. But Bill, and part of the reason that empathy really matters, and part of the reason it's valuable, is it puts that fire of innovation in your heart. This is a problem, right? So Bill couldn't just leave well enough alone, because he really saw that people were struggling with this issue about safety on the treadmill. And so what Bill did was he kind of made some minor modifications to existing machines inside, and he had a local hotel gym down the street, and he made some minor modifications to these machines, and then he just watched what did people do in the hotel gym, which machine did they go to. And something like 9 out of 10 people went to the machine that he had modified. Now, he didn't tell people, hey, I've modified this machine. He wasn't affecting the safety of it. It was only kind of a superficial change. Yeah. But then he came back to his boss and said, hey, we made a minor modification to this machine side by side with our other machine in the gym. We watched people for 3 days. 30 people came through. 27 of them chose the machine with this modification. Whoa. Now his boss is going, well, wait a minute. Why? Well, we talked to them afterwards. They said that it felt safer, that it looked like it was more stable, right? And safety is a big deal in the fitness space, right? There's lawsuits all the time. And all of a sudden, whoa, we have a chance to change consumer perception, because originally it's going to add $40 of cost to every build. And the margins are already thin, right? We don't want to spend 40 more bucks if we don't have to. But whoa, this is about changing a consumer perception. And now it's worth it. Now the conversation's totally different.